All right, so now I want to talk about credit card liquidation, right? So we all are going to get to a point where, we have 50,000, 100,000, or even more money in credit, but we need cash. So now we need to turn that credit to cash. So I'm gonna give you a few different ways on how you can basically liquidate a credit card. Of course, number one, we all should have in a merchant account where we're able to send invoices to a friend or a family member. And at that point, they can pay the invoice with our specific credit card. And now, once the money hits the business account, we'll be able to step into the bank and go and withdraw that money. So basically, I'll use my credit card, but I will send an invoice to my brother. So I sent the invoice to my brother. To his name and email, I just have him use my credit card to pay it. And now I'm able to liquidate that specific credit card that I have access to. That's one way. Another way we can liquidate a credit card is through PayPal. And you can have a friend, somebody that's real close to you, send you an invoice where you can now pay with your credit card. And of course, it'll be a small 2%, 3% fee, something like that, but we're able to make that payment. Now, once that invoice is paid, you can then go and retrieve those funds from that close friend or family member. It has to be somebody you can trust, right? So that's two different ways that we can liquidate a credit card, right? Now, the third way in which we can liquidate a credit card is by using what's called a split payment method, right? This works on the personal side or the business side. It does not matter, right? But ultimately, what we want to do is we want to make a purchase and we want to split the payments from our debit card and our credit card, right? So let's say, for example, we visit a local store, right? A local store may be, Microsoft, Apple, Dick's Sporting Goods, Costco, Sam's Club, JC Penney. These are just a few, as many more out there, right? But for example, let's use Costco, right? So let's say we go on Costco and our ultimate goal is we need to take off $3,000 from this credit card, right? So let's say we purchase a MacBook that costs $3,000. Well, it's going to be an estimated 10% tax on there. So my total is going to be $3,300, right? So what I want to do is use my credit card and pay $3,000 off my credit card. The remaining balance, I want to pay with my debit card. So I will pay the $300 on this debit card. Now I've cleared my bill of $3,300 and I own this MacBook. You can do one or two things. We can leave it at the register and, walk around the store, or we can go home and come back. For the sake of it, I'm just going to say, we're going to take that MacBook home and we're going to come back another day. So let's say it's Monday, we come back on, Tuesday or Wednesday. It doesn't matter. Let's say we come back Tuesday. We come back Tuesday, we haven't opened up the MacBook or anything. What we need to do now is we need to actually make a return. And when you are trying to make this return, what's going to happen is that the agent at the counter is going to ask you to enter your chip, right? Mind you, we use two different cards. We use the credit card and the debit card. So when we process this return, guess which card we want to use? We want to use the debit card. And also, I would like to say that this process works better, the split payment method, if both of the cards are the same, Visa and Visa, or if you have MasterCard and MasterCard, right? Because it will show on the receipt. But as we're processing this return, we want to use our debit card. And now when we enter the chip and enter our debit card to make that return, we can say, hey, my girlfriend, she doesn't need this for school or work. My daughter doesn't need this for school or work. So I want to make a return. Now all of those funds are going to go back to my debit card. And now in about 30 minutes or so, that money is going to return back into my debit card account free of charge. That's one thing I like about the split payment method, is that you have no fees attached to it. Now I pretty much just liquidated $3,000 off of this credit card, and I have this $3,000, in my checking account. I can now go to the ATM, I can walk in the bank and now have access to these $3,000 of cash that was initially on a credit card. So that's the third way that we can liquidate a credit card that I want to share with you guys. Another way, another form, which is the fourth way that we can liquidate a credit card, is with a couple different websites. We have a website called Plastique and also Melio Payments. These are pretty much websites that are in place where we can attach a credit card to our profile and we can almost pay any bill with this specific credit card. Now, they will have a 2 to 3% charge, right? But that's not an issue because our main goal is, hey, I need to get this money off this credit card and put it to cash. This website allows you to send a wire transfer. You can make a, a down deposit. Let's say if you want to use a credit card to purchase property, you can, send over a wire to a title company and different things like that. Ultimately, these websites allow you to put a credit card on file and pay almost anything or anybody that you need to pay, right? So we have Plastique. I definitely recommend, you go on here, you look around, call customer service, talk to them, see how they operate, just for yourself. And then also we have Melio Payments who work exactly the same, right? You're able to pay your rent with the credit card, different things like that. You can literally pay even business expenses, right? And invoice online. Choose to make a payment. You can send an ACH transfer. It does not matter. You can send a paper check. It does not matter. They will allow you to use your credit card to send those funds over. And that is our fourth way that we can liquidate a credit card. Our final way, which is my fifth way to liquidate a credit card, are with using convenience checks. And these can be either personal or business. And I'll show you exactly what they look like. So here's an example of a convenience check for a personal credit card, which I all recommend. A Citibank double cash card is one of my favorite cards. They give you about 2 to 3% cash back. I want to say 2% cash back. Small tip, whenever you're applying for credit cards, please get cash back or points credit card. Do not just get a basic credit card that does not have any benefits or incentive, right? But this is basically a convenience check that Citibank sent to me. And now I'm able to, let's say, withdraw any balance on that credit card. I can just simply write a check to myself and deposit it into my debit card account. And now they might charge you a 2 to 3% transaction fee, but at the end of the day, I'll have access to that cash in my checking account, right? So this is a major game changer. I remember looking this up for years and years, and I couldn't, figure out how do they do it or what is it called. So for the people that's taking advantage of this mentorship course, this is added information to you that's extreme value, and it's going to benefit you when you're trying to move forward and say, how can I turn this, credit to cash, right? So those are the different 5 options if we want to liquidate a credit card, right? Also, I want to talk about manufacturer spending, which is very similar to the split payment method, because remember that laptop that we did purchase, right? So we purchased the laptop for $3,000. Well, now this credit card has a $3,000 balance. And also I have 3,000 or more points because I've used this credit card, right? And basically, if I want to manufacture, spend a specific item, right? Let's say I bought that laptop again, right? So I bought the laptop, it was $3,000, it was $3,300 with tax, right? And let's say I wanted to manufacture, spend that, and just get those free points, and not take the MacBook. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Well, of course, I'll purchase $3,000 on this personal credit card, and then I'll pay the remaining balance, which is $300 on a debit card. Now I purchase my laptop, and now once I own it, I go home. Let's say it's Monday, I come back on Tuesday. Once I make a return, I want to use my debit card. Now, when I use my debit card, all of the money is going to go into my debit card account. Once the money gets into my debit card account, now I'll have to wait for that laptop transaction to post on my credit card. I can then literally, once the balance pops up and it says $3,000, I can use my debit card and pay the credit card back to zero. Now I just got a free, $3,000 in points. But not only that, sometimes credit cards have, spending requirements, and I'll show you right here. I'll visit US Bank, right? And now let's just say I go to a business card, a business credit card, and let's view a business credit card, right? So as you can see right here, this specific credit card has a $500 cash back. They'll give you a free $500 if you spend $4,500 in 150 days, right? So if I spend $4,500 off of this credit card when I first get it, I'm able to get a free $500. The average person is going to go out and spend $4,500, whereas us, we can actually manufacture spend this purchase. We can manufacture spend this. I can buy a laptop and run the split payment method. I can do that 2 times, 1 month and the second month. I can do that and then pay the credit card back off and spend $6,000. Well, now I didn't spend no $4,500, but it looks like it because I've used this credit card with the split payment method. And now I'm able to get this free $500. So because you have access to this manufactured spending play, you can put yourself in position to always get this free cash. And this is every single time you apply for a credit card that we can take advantage of, right? So if you want to take advantage of manufactured spending, it's a simple process, right? Let's just say US Bank say, hey, we'll give you a free $300 if you spend $3,000 in, let's say, 3 months. What are we going to do? I'm going to go to Costco's. The MacBook's going to cost $3,000. I'm going to use my personal credit card, $3,000, swipe that, and I'm going to use the split payment of a debit card of $300. Now I own a MacBook. Go home, come back the next day, return it to my debit card account. Once I return it, now I'm able to, at that point, use those funds that's in my debit card account and pay off that credit card, because now it has a $3,000 balance, but I still get that free $300. So that is the process of manufactured spending, which can not only help you meet those minimum spending requirements for free, but that's also a good way for you to double and triple your cards, because they see, man, this person is using, using the maximum limit out, 1, 2, 3 months back to back. And as you all know, we want to ask for credit limit increases every 4 to 6 months, whether we don't need them or not. We just want to call in, make sure we don't get a hard pull, and we want to get that credit line increase, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Also, when we talk about flying for free, that's when we're using our manufactured spending. Now we're able to generate points, because you got people that go out and manufacture spend every single day, right? They're taking advantage of this specific method, and they're using all their points to travel all over the world, right? Not only that, but hitting those sign-on bonuses that we talked about. That's a great way to use, instead of, paying a bill, hey, let me travel with this money instead. Every time I apply for a new credit card, I manufacture spend to hit the sign-on bonus, and I'm using that, right? And of course, general purchases add up every day, right? So I'm in a position where I haven't used a debit card since 2015. It's 2023 right now. So just imagine I'm steadily using my credit card for every single transaction. Those points add up. Auto pay, I'm able to save money with my T-Mobile phone bill and get those points every single month. My cable bill as well, right? I put it on auto pay and I'm getting points for that as well. So these are, general purchases that could add up. So we can accumulate in a mass amount of points. And now I'm able to travel for free, redeem for Nike gift cards and different things like that. So, just understanding credit and knowing how to utilize it and having access to this information is going to always keep you ahead of the game, right? So, just thank yourself at the end of the day for getting educated, right? And that's pretty much how you liquidate a credit card, how you manufacture spend, and also put yourself in a position to travel for free. Thank you.